So JD's team has apparently had enough, and they are making it very, very clear that they are ready to fight back. After AH went on Dateline, she wanted to say things that were more damaging than the Washington Post op-ed. Yeah, this is the way that you get yourself in quite a bit of trouble. Now, on top of the fireworks we'll see in the courtroom, mark your calendar, by the way. I'm sure on the 24th, they're going to get spicy with an injunction. But on top of that, you have a source close to JD speaking out. They're setting the record straight. And remember, JD won this thing. He won it by a landslide in the courtroom. He won it by a landslide in the court of public opinion. And now she wants to relitigate the issues. No way. Not going to happen. Now, what makes all of this trouble that she's going to get in even more delicious is the fact that she did all of this for absolutely nothing. The show, it failed, and it failed utterly. You and I were going to talk about all of that stuff today, too. This is fun times. I swear, this is fun times indeed. So, hey there to all you fine folks on this fine day, by the way. I hope you are doing excellently. And the interesting thing about all this trouble that she's going to end up getting herself into is I don't think that Dateline NBC, it could have gone much worse for her. What's astounding about all of this, too, is that JD's team pretty much warned her to move on. They said, you know what, this case, it's already been decided to. You don't want to go down this route. Listen to this here. Quote, it's unfortunate that while JD is looking to move on or move forward with his life, the defendant and her team are back to repeating, reimagining, and relitigating matters that have already been decided by a court and a verdict that was unanimously and unequivocally decided by a jury in JD's favor. Now, I've been trying to get a feel for just how damaging this is for how JD's team, they'll fight back, what exactly will go on. So I've been talking to multiple sources behind the scene. The date, the 24th, of course, it always comes back up because that is the day we're going to see some finalization to the decision. We're going to have JD's team and AH's team. They're going to be in the courtroom. And you better believe there's going to be an injunction against her, if not more. And she knows this too. She said this in her Dateline NBC interview. Hey, I'm terrified of being sued again, but yet she won't move on. I mean, this is her quote. This is pulled from the NZ Herald. Quote, AH's tell-all interview with NBC show Dateline has revealed that the actress who successfully sued by ex-husband JD is quote-unquote terrified she could face another defamation lawsuit by the actor. According to the New York Post, the Aquaman actress told Dateline she, quote, took for granted what I assumed was my right to speak, not just what I lived through, but what I knew. I guess that's what a defamation lawsuit is meant to do. It's meant to take your voice. Now, you can tell from that statement there that she knows that she's screwed up. She screwed up big time, but still, she wanted to go after JD. She wanted to pretend if only we could have done certain things, if only we could have presented certain evidence, we would have won. And it is being called out by numerous people, including sources that are close to JD. Listen to this right here. Quote, in the highly anticipated tell-all, brought up several examples of evidence which were allegedly unfairly barred from being presented in her $50 million defamation trial. However, sources close to the Pirates of the Caribbean actor stated her claims are easily refuted. And they definitely are, by the way. And there's so much more that you could add to these statements right here. Quote, one of the pieces of evidence in question notes from AH's therapist, Dr. Bonnie Jacobs. According to sources close to JD, anything contained in those notes pertaining to alleged SA or DV were written years after the Aquaman star claims the incident occurs. Now that's not something she disclosed, by the way, is it? She makes it sound like in 2011, 2012, and on, she started seeing Dr. Bonnie Jacobs, and that that recorded everything that's going on. That didn't occur, by the way. She saw her years after the fact, like they said. Continuing, the source also said that the notes were actually not suppressed from being presented as they were reviewed during Dr. Don Hughes' testimony. That's true too. You could have had them presented in there. She didn't want those presented though, because when you open up the doorway for all of that, when you start getting questioned about it, oh man, that is going to tear apart her story big time. As a final nail in the coffin, the source added that if there was truly anything important in Dr. Bonnie Jacobs' paperwork, AH's lawyers could have chosen to call her to the stand as a witness, but they did not. Now, the other thing that JD's source rightly calls out is the fluctuating timeline of her so-called accusations. I mean, when you started out in 2016, she said with her blackmail letter on May 23rd, she said one accusation happened on May 21st. She said there were 2 other accusations within a 6-month period. So she began with 3 accusations, no claims of SA, all DV. By the end of that year, she balloons that. She makes 7 accusations, and she says the timeline, it starts in 2014, it ends in 2016. By the time that you get to the UK trial, those 7 accusations, they balloon to 14. So she has a doubling effect. She also adds her first accusation of SA, and she decides, hey, I'm going to add an extra year to these. So it's no longer 2014, now it's 2013 to 2016. By the time you get to the Virginia courtroom, that number 14, it's just used as an example according to her. Actually, there are countless examples out there. She just hasn't come up with them all yet. She decides she's going to add even more claims of SA. Now she has 4 of those, and she decides, hey, that timeline that I set aside, actually, we need to add another year to it. So we're talking about 2012 now to 2016. Now, in her interviews, she's decided to add even more. She says there are countless claims of SA. She says there are countless claims of DV. And that timeline that she set aside, yeah, that timeline, it's not right either. According to her therapy notes, all of this, it started in 2011. Now, yeah, that's being called out, and rightly so. I mean, this stuff, it is insane. She is going to end up getting censured. She's probably going to end up getting sued. It is very well deserved. Crazy times, huh? I mean, crazy times indeed. Let me know what you think about this, though. And as always, appreciate the heck out of you. Like I said, I want to know what you think about this. Check out the links in the description, but appreciate you being here. Going to end with that. See you soon.